With this challenge, what we are doing, we create like a sort of partnership or a companionship, like, oh, let's do it together. And we are creating a community, students.
It's not just in food systems, but that's our focus here, youth, right? We know all the familiar slogans, you should engage with youth, not talk about them, have them involved.
A lot of interventions focus on entrepreneurship for people who are already graduated, but we also see that universities already do a lot, but can also do a lot more to really also prepare youth to be ready for either as an entrepreneur or to have more of a problem-solving mindset.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Beehive, everyone. I am your host, Mark Fonseca Rendeiro, and this is the podcast that looks at the people, the projects, the various initiatives at the Netherlands Food Partnership. And we do that by having a conversation, maybe getting out of the documents and the big moments and having a small moment among friends and colleagues. Reminder that this podcast is available in video format. I'm waving my hands just to exercise what video can do. But if you're listening, all you can do is hear the sound of my voice, and I can describe to you. We're here at the headquarters of the Netherlands Food Partnership in a lovely room that has all the things you'd expect for a podcast these days. And we're going to talk about a partnership as we so often do. I'm joined today by two experts in the field. I call them experts. They would never call themselves that. They're very modest. But in the field of food systems and I would say also the world of partnerships, Bente and Mirjam. But what I would like, and I think would fit very nicely is first, hello.
Hi.
And the other thing that I'd like to have is also for you to introduce yourselves, because of course I can try to summarize your expertise and other things, but I think we always do it best for ourselves. So, Mirjam, you're a visitor to this fine office. Maybe you start.
Well, thank you very much. Today I come all the way from Wageningen. I work at Wageningen University in research. My name is Mirjam Troost. I work for a department that's called Student Challenges. So we organize student challenges for students worldwide, not only for students at Wageningen University, but also students from Brazil, from anywhere, from Asia, somewhere, Europe, Romania, name it. So we organize it for them, and then we have one case that they work on. Usually a challenge runs half a year. And I'm happy today to tell you more about the Food Systems Innovation Challenge that I'm particularly in charge of.
Yeah. Bente?
Yeah, hi, I'm Bente Meindertsma, and I'm a partnership builder at Netherlands Food Partnership. I've been working first with AgriProFocus and then Netherlands Food Partnership for quite a while already, and always been very interested in the role of youth in food systems. So that's also how I met Mirjam, I think now 3.5 to 4 years ago, when we were both very involved in youth initiatives. And then we started talking about doing something together, which is the Food Systems Innovation Challenge.
Ah, okay. So that was actually the first collaboration between you two?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to that. So the Food System Innovation Challenge, I feel like it needs to be on the screen, like next to me or somewhere, because it's this term that once you start to say it, once you use it, you know it. But for some people, it might be the first time hearing about it. The title in itself implies, there's something that people are going to be trying, doing. Reminds me of a contest, but those are my words. How do you see, or when you first thought it up, what was the idea behind the Food System Innovation Challenge? Who remembers best?
Oh yeah, I can say first something about it. It's about innovations in food systems, as you said it. Also with the idea that innovations everywhere in the world is different. So maybe here, there might be high tech, there might be low tech. Innovations are innovations. We thought of it, or maybe I have to go a little bit further down the road, or backwards, back the road. The challenges that we are organizing, as I said, it's for students all over the world, but we hardly had any teams from the African region. And I was also involved in youth engagement for Wageningen University and research. So we also sent students to the COP, to the climate summit, to anywhere. And we're thinking, it would be nice if they can also actually show something. Yeah. And not only from the European perspective, but from a worldwide perspective. So that's where we started with a challenge, I think it's 4 years ago, where we invited specifically students from Africa region to apply, and the Asian region and Latin America, where we were asking them to think of an innovation in food systems. And we were promising them that they would also immediately get some seed funding. So they got money to actually build something. You mentioned it before. It implies that something is going on.
Yeah,
and there's something
a prize, right?
Yeah, and that's upfront. So the teams that are selected, we are in our 3rd round now of the Food Systems Innovation Challenge. Yeah. Teams that are selected, they get seed funding to build something in their own surroundings, because they are the expert of their own environment. Mm-hmm. So having said that, we did the first trial already 5 years ago. Yeah. And then we got some really nice, interesting teams working with us from Kenya, from Uganda, Brazil, a lot of countries. But then we found out, it would be nice to have some focal points in the universities where they come from. Mm-hmm. Because for me to coordinate it from Wageningen University side, I don't know what's going on in Ethiopia. I don't know what's going on in Ghana. The experts are there. Yeah. So that's why we started working with partner universities. Yeah. And that's the thing we are doing now, where there's a coordinator at every university we work with. We work with 15 universities, and they support their own student teams. So it's a competition. You said it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a university competition between all the universities. Every university, they select 2 student teams that start in March. So the registration opened March. We will select all the teams, and then they start working with seed funding, with mentoring, with online workshops on their innovation in their own country.
Yeah. I've noticed in my time at NFP that there's kind of a calendar to follow the Food System Innovation Challenge. It's not the kind of thing where it's, it's March, it's all happening right now. It's this kind of, maybe a marathon more than a sprint.
My name is Anthony Mugo. I'm representing Team Aquasmart Innovators from Wageningen University, Kenya. I've learned a lot through the whole challenge. For example, team coordination, because I was the team leader of Aquasmart Innovators. So through that, I've learned how to coordinate team members. I've also learned how to communicate well with other people from different countries.
I was just so inspired by the way these groups of students had identified a gap, a need in their community, and they're just developing these really tangible solutions, going right for the cause and finding what their communities need on the ground.
I learned a lot from this challenge. First is it inspired me to work for sustainable agriculture and to work for climate smart agriculture in our country, and not in our country, to think globally and to make agriculture sustainable and to encourage youth like us in innovative solutions too.
The personal, a little bit about your journey prior to, or that led you to the Food System Innovation Challenge.
Yeah, so I have a personal passion for youth and for youth engagement and entrepreneurship. Those things, and I started studying Wageningen University in research. Was quite young then still, and I met my husband from Nigeria. So we started our own business at that time. So we were like 23. We built a big hotel business in Nigeria. We got a lot of people that believed in us. So that's where I think the mentorship also in the Food Systems Innovation Challenge is very important, because you need older people that can guide you and also help you with money, obviously, because they were investing in our ideas. We got quite some land, so we got a lot of agricultural ideas. So that's where, and at that same time, I was also president of IAS, which is an International Association of Students in Agriculture and Related Sciences. So I was based in Belgium, and I was invited as a youth leader to a lot of summits. Like I went to the Women's Summit of the United Nations it was in 1995. Hillary Clinton was there. I remember they put us on the table and we were, we just had to sit and not ask too many questions that could, stir up the room. But so that's where I was interested also in youth engagement. And when I got the question from my university to help with that, and I thought, then let's give them something that they can also show something and not only put on the table, nice clothes, but really say something.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship and youth engagement are my passion.
Yeah.
That's why I like to contribute to the world.
Yeah.
And what is really great about Mirjam is that you have such a personal touch that you know each and every student. You are in personal contact with them, thinking you should talk to this person. And I think that's also really great added value, that people feel so they feel very warmly welcomed and trusted by you because you just give them, you just really believe in all these teams, and that's really great to see. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I always wonder how you have the time to keep up.
What's up?
Sending all these messages to all these people, but you do it.
In Ethiopia, undernutrition is a serious challenge, particularly among vulnerable communities. Meanwhile, pumpkin, a local nutritious food, is overlooked and wasted. Our survey industry shows that while smallholder farmers cultivated pumpkins, they are rarely consumed due to stigma and unappealing dishes. As a result, pumpkins are often fed to animals or wasted. Even when eaten, the seeds are discarded as inedible. At the same time, vulnerable groups struggle with poor diet.
Hilltops of Nepal, 1,246 meters above the mean sea level, lies the Chepang community in Raksirang Rural Municipality, Makwanpur district, which is an indigenous and marginalized group. Living in harsh conditions and without steady income sources, the community struggles to buy food and relies on yam, forest resources during lean times. Yam is a symbol of food resilience here, rich in nutrition but underutilized, just like the Chepang community, both overlooked by mainstream society.
So our innovative solution is to turn yam crops grown by the community into value-added products and explore the market possibilities.
Firstly, it wasn't an easy task reaching the Chepang community. Hiking through rough terrain with no transportation, we finally arrived at our destination. Together, with Nepal Little Flower Society, we collected yams, marking the start of our project.
One of the questions is also, when it comes to the kind of support that you give to universities as the Food System Innovation Challenge, what form does it take, or what is it that universities need that you can provide?
Yeah, so maybe I can answer that. There are universities, they give different education, right? And at Wageningen University and Research, we started a long time ago with more academic consultancy training is what we call it, but where you have a case study of a company or something from society where groups of students interdisciplinary work on. And that kind of education is not in every university yet, and it's developing.
Yeah.
So that's where we also have the learning network. It's called also a learning network on challenge-based learning and community outreach. So those are two things that we want to learn from each other. So community outreach in the African countries, I'm very impressed what they do. So they send students, staff. It's even obligatory. So they have to go to their communities and do projects there. Challenge-based learning means that you don't listen to your professor only, you get all the knowledge. the traditional one way of education, but that you give challenges to students where they have to apply all the knowledge or look for the knowledge themselves, apply it and talk to fellow students that might not be from their own program. So there can be economy student with a animal science student. Especially, we have to prepare them for when they start working later on. You will also meet a lot of different people. You have to learn how to work in a team. So that's more or less what we learn from each other in this challenge.
Yeah, and I think also engaging a network of companies that's in Wageningen. That's very the usual stuff. There's even a lot of big agri-businesses on the campus. But in a lot of countries, this is really not so, they're not so used to that. And so how to engage these businesses, we also developed like different materials, how they can talk to businesses and how they can engage, and they also discuss about that. So that I think that's another part that really strengthens also the networks around the universities. The students don't think of an idea in isolation, but really have to get out there and talk to both their clients, but also to maybe competitors or different target groups to strengthen their ideas. I think I just really also experienced myself as a participant in the Young Expert program that I got the opportunity to go abroad and just try something I never did before. Just got the trust that I could do it. So I went to Myanmar, and there also the main focus of the whole network that I was setting up there was also the role of youth. So we organized a big boot camp there where we traveled with a group of 40 students of 5 different universities through the whole country in a bus, and went to visit a lot of businesses and also did develop concepts for them. And that was really a very big experience for me. And after that, I've always been very also engaged in also with the Youth in Agroecology program in East Africa, supporting young people, young ambitious people that really want to develop their own concepts. So that's why I really look forward to another year of working on this.
Cool. Yeah, let's talk about the idea behind having a sort of a calendar, but that it takes time. You just mentioned having a seed fund so that you can implement what you have in mind. So actually, it's not a money prize at the end. It's
also.
But first, there's also to help you try to do what you have in mind to address a problem or a challenge within food systems, right? I mean, that's... So we really trust the teams that they will use the money. So they write a concept note and they explain their plans, and also based on that it's also the partner universities that select the team. So they all have a jury that select the teams, and then based on their plans, we also say, okay, go ahead with this seed fund and try what you wanna develop. And it's really impressive how much these teams can do in 6 months with most of the time only €1,000, which is very little here, but in a lot of contexts they develop a new product, for example, out of waste streams, and they really already found partners to they packaged it, they have a market, they work with schools. It's so really in 6 months time
I always say it's also my favorite partnership because it gives so much positive energy.
Yeah.
Because you see all this, this big ambition and energy going into these projects.
Yeah.
Agriculture is the backbone of many economies. It feeds our people, drives rural development, and supports livelihoods around the world.
Traditionally, farmers rely heavily on plastic seedling trays. Plastic seedling trays, though cheap and widely used, are non-biodegradable. They pollute soil, are often burnt, or end up in landfills, harming both the environment and human health. Agriculture plays a crucial role in Suriname, from rice fields to vegetable farms under the heads of dedicated farmers who keep traditions alive while adapting to modern needs. But behind lush green fields and rich farmlands, in the districts Nikeri and Koroni, two common byproducts are silently causing harm: the irresponsible disposal of rice husk and coconut husk. Often burnt or dumped, these materials contribute to environmental pollution.
That's where Team Waste to Wonders comes in. Our mission is to tackle agricultural plastic pollution by introducing biodegradable pots made from rice husk biochar combined with family compost, cocoa peat, and neem to support sustainable agriculture and resilient food systems.
We started with collecting these materials and doing research on biodegradable pots. We continued with prototypes by testing different ratios. Some were too fragile, others too dense, but we kept improving.
Today, we are proud to present our final version, a biodegradable and nutrient-rich pot. It supports healthy seedling growth and direct transfer into the soil. No plastic, no waste.
We visited local farming communities to demonstrate our pots. Local farmers tested them and many were surprised by the results.
Dus we hebben potgrond erin gedaan en dan gezaaid, sla. Waardoor het is laat ik alles met die sla beginnen. Heel goed opgekomen. Binnen 3 dagen zag ik al die ontkieming. En ik dacht van, het gaat goed. En die vochtigheid blijft erin. Hè? Je hoeft niet te veel nat te maken. En binnen 3 weken had ik het resultaat ook al gezien.
Je merkt dus dat bij het verplanten je uit die plastic bak zou moeten halen. En dan merk je dus dat die plant een onderbreking heeft. Bij dit heb je hem gelijk in de aarde. En dat zorgt ook dat de groei doorgaat.
En daar hebben we resultaten ook gezien. Ja, dat is heel goed hoor. Dat is heel goed.
Stronger seedlings, healthier roots, healthier soil, and less labor. No need to remove the pot during transplantation. What more can you ask for? It's a simple solution, but it makes a big difference for farmers, for our soil, and for the environment.
And that's why we say,
You see waste, we see wonders. A minor yet impactful change can be an innovation.
There's this element, you hear it, I go to a few conferences every year, and it's not just in food systems, but that's our focus here, youth, right? We know all the familiar slogans, you should engage with youth, not talk about them, have them involved. And it seems like so many projects, initiatives in this world that either have good intentions when it comes to youth or just simply haven't quite figured it out. But let's talk about youth in this whole context of food systems. I mean, everybody is connected to the food system. It's essential for survival, right? But what is it about youth, especially at this level, perhaps, that is so important, maybe misunderstood or not understood, or doesn't get enough? This is me getting attention. My hand is going up, podcast listeners. Never mind. But yeah, let's talk about youth and food systems. What's the role? What could be the role? What do you see?
Yeah, shall I say something first?
Yeah, you can.
And you
Yeah,
add?
yes.
Sure.
I guess it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's two ways. There's just especially in Africa, we all know there's a huge percentage of the population are young. So yeah, sometimes even 75% of the population is below 30. Yeah. So yeah, and it's a very big challenge also for governments to have enough enough places on the labor market. There's a lot of programs around that. And on the other hand, you see that food systems and especially agriculture, food systems is seen as production for a lot of young people. That's not cool. It's not regarded as a real career because you go to the farm and you die
right.
you die poor.
Hands dirty.
So it's really about seeing how many opportunities there are in food systems, also outside being a producer or being a producer in a different way, and also creating a job for yourself, but also for people around you. A lot of interventions focus on entrepreneurship for people who are already graduated, but we also see that universities already do a lot, but can also do a lot more to really also prepare youth to be ready for either as an entrepreneur or to have more of a problem-solving mindset, and more also thinking innovatively, thinking in a problem-solving way that can really have a lot of benefits and added value to both for their system and for the youth themselves.
I was just listening to a podcast from Uganda this week, and there was a discussion, of course, of when you go through university and what your family or what is expected of you these days. And there was that element which we know, I think, quite well, the expectation to go abroad, in fact, because this is seen as like, well, it's better than farming, or you can provide for your family. And this also seems to me a major challenge in a way to it's not a myth necessarily, but to dispel this thinking that this is the only way, or that you have to leave, that farming is not has no future, which of course makes no sense. If farming has no future, then what do we eat? Anyway.
Well, thank you both, and I agree with Bente, and we've seen it. What we also try to do is make a positive narrative also for the people that are living in countries where the climate is really worsening, and it's everywhere. It's getting hotter and changing. But imagine you live in an area where it's really dry, and maybe it's getting more dry. I think with the challenge, we also give like hope and show that we can, that we work together, that they are not alone. And that's what I get back a lot from students in the program. I was in Kenya in December, and I was walking around at the campus of one of our partner universities. And all the students that participated the past 3 years, they were there to welcome me, and they showed me what they've been doing. And they are regreening the whole area there. Yeah. And they have to use, so it's their specialization is in dryland agriculture, and that's already what it says. It's really dry there. Yeah. So they need a lot of innovations there. It doesn't have to be high tech, but they have to work, and they have to be also affordable for the farmers. Yeah. So that's what they are working on. And I think we create like with this challenge, what we are doing, we create like a sort of partnership or a companionship, like, let's do it together. And we are creating a community. Students, while I was there, the students in Kenya, they said, we have to talk to the guys in Ghana. They met during the finals, and they are still in contact with each other a lot. Huh. And as Bente said, this challenge, there is a gap between university or youth and your first startup, where you already have some proof of concept. Yeah. And from there, proof of concept, you can go to the investors and you can get investment. But that whole gap of students that don't have the opportunity, they don't have the seed funding to start, to show something. Yeah. I think that's where we are, we are in that gap actually with our partner universities, creating entrepreneurial mindset with students. Mm-hmm. They don't have to necessarily continue with the project they started with in the Food Systems Innovation Challenge, but they are growing, and they are like, Wageningen University research, and they are supporting us, and we have mentors from them. They believe in us. Our own the staff at the partner universities are so important. So there are professors, I also see that it's growing within the partner universities because of the positive vibe it gives and also the energy of the students.
Yeah. This is also an interesting element. I don't know, do you see it as a community? I think sometimes we talk about it when I have spoken with you about the Food System Innovation Challenge. We refer to it as a community. And initially, when you describe it, it doesn't quite sound like a community. But then when you start talking about people who have gone through it and visiting them and keeping in touch, how do you see it? Since the very beginning, did you think, no, this is a community, or has that come along over time?
Yeah, that develops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You meet some people, yeah.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it is that it's also not only about teams, but also really about the people around them, supporting them.
Yeah.
So, there's this partnership of universities that is growing, and that's also really growing in terms of, how much involved they feel. So, we from the start we have facilitated a learning network between the universities. So some are much more advanced. They have an incubation center at their university. They have all kinds of facilities.
Yeah.
Others have nothing. So it's also really. We sometimes invite external experts to talk about a concept, but we also work a lot just different coordinators from the different universities preparing what they learned in their university and what they can share with the other universities. So they also come with questions like, how can we involve other departments, for example? Like, what are the tricks there? Last September, almost, I think, only one coordinator didn't come, but all of them were in Wageningen.
Oh, okay.
And then, so we spent a few days and also a few hours to really evaluate where do we stand and what do you see as the next steps as a group together. And then I was really surprised. We were talking about kind of how this is a replicable model and what that means for them. And then they all came like, why don't we organize the next finals? And why don't we do a regional learning trajectory? Or they came with a lot of ideas to really take more responsibility. And that's also what we really want to focus on this year. Like, how can we all, with the group of university, learn about deepening the impact at the university of the challenge. So it's really integrated either, in a curriculum or connected to other innovation services in the university. So, and how can we help each other to learn about that? And I think that, there's really a very active group of coordinators that really believes in this and wants to take that up together.
Yeah. So what I'm getting is that actually, at this point especially, you don't have to make things happen necessarily, because there are so many things happening between participants, and there's a lot that just comes naturally, whether you even know it's coming or not. New things emerge, new ideas, new collaboration.
We don't know half what's going on, I think. Because we do have a WhatsApp group. And sometimes you see beautiful pictures coming along. And last in December, the King and the Queen of the Netherlands, they were
in 2025. Yeah. I've seen the photo. Or a video.
Yeah, they went to Suriname for the first time in, I think, 47 years. And they chose the Food Systems Innovation Challenge. They didn't choose them themselves, obviously, but
Good stuff.
it was an example that they wanted to show the King and Queen as a balanced partnership between the Netherlands and Suriname. So the student teams in our Food Systems Innovation Challenge 2025 from Suriname, they presented their projects to Maxima and Willem-Alexander.
Yeah.
And that's anyway, we knew because they told us. There are a lot of things going on with connecting people and
2026 is an interesting year for the Food System Innovation Challenge. I don't want to give away the ending, so let's talk about it. There's something different about this year. What is it?
Yeah, well, we are starting with more universities again. In 2024, 9 universities, 2025, 12, and now we are starting with 16. So we have some extra universities in Asia and Africa. That's new. Well, the finals are always end of September. So if you are around 29th of September, the finals Wageningen campus, where we have all the students pitching, and there's like an Olympic flag show in the beginning of the finals, and that's quite interesting. Maybe Bente, you will.
I guess what you are wanting to hear is
that's why we are a good team, right?
Is that we as NFP and where we walked the journey together for now. This is going to be the third year, and what the first 2 years we really worked on getting the concept there. So having it was a lot of work. We were always like, oh shit, we forgot about this, and just very stressful. And now we see that we have a concept that is replicable, that is working, and now so this is really the year to celebrate that and also make it available to other universities and really also make the step towards a sustainable setup where Wageningen University and the other universities can go their own way. There's a few things we've got planned for that. So we are discussing a lot with university networks. So, for example, Reforum is a very big network of African universities. And there's also an Asian university network that are interested to see how can we work together, how can we align. So also these new universities, they are also active in the Reforum. So we kind of want to pilot also how the Reforum program and the Food Systems Innovation Challenge can work together at these universities. And we're also developing like a playbook, a nice product showing both this is how you do it and also this is what it means for the teams, for the universities. This is what you can learn, and also showing some stories of both teams and coordinators, like how have they grown as people, how have their concepts developed. So that's also going to be launched in September when we have the big finals. The other part, I think we talked about that already, is the deepening and exploring with each partner university, how can they really give this a sustainable place in their university.
So in fact, the challenge will live on.
There's a lot of interest from other universities. So far we have to say no, but if people adopt our concept, then we can do other circles of food systems innovation challenges with different partner universities. And so that's what we are working on this year, for sure. Very grateful, though, that Netherlands Food Partnership for 3 years already supporting us, because you really need that time to get things going and for people to get to know your program. Because now, what I found now, the last few months, I get a lot of people approaching me. They saw a post on LinkedIn or whatever, or they heard people about it. So they're asking for cooperation. So that's nice. What we didn't mention yet is that we also work with the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. So we thought we have this first step, Food Systems Innovation Challenge, entrepreneurial mindset. But there are really some really good projects coming out. You saw some examples with the videos.
Yeah.
So the winners, every year, we have a top 6 of teams. And they continue another year with us in something that's called the Youth Food Lab, which is an incubation program that we run with Wageningen University and Research, with the World Food Forum platform of the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations.
Yeah.
And also we work with IAS, which is the International Association for Students in Agriculture. And they are youth, and we do it with them. And so that's also half a year program where they have new seed funding, mentoring, online workshops, and they get to pitch their projects then in Rome during the flagship event of the World Food Forum, where there are presidents. The Pope was there in October last year. So that was very impressive. So they got a lot of contacts there, and they meet people from their own country there, possible investors. So it's really a community or a network that we want to grow.
Yeah. So that continues.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there, looking ahead, I mean, you've already given us wonderful previews of 2026. Is there something that we should, of course, tell the audience, for those who have become now, if they weren't already, interested, and perhaps they're at a university somewhere in the global south that are interested? Where should we point people?
There's a lot of information on the website of Wageningen Student Challenges. So if you're studying at one of the partner universities, please apply. And I think another call to action is for us really that sustainability. We are in contact with a lot of partners also to see how we can, it's quite at the level of universities, but we are also looking at regions, like how can we work together with partners that want to support the challenge for a few years in the region. So that's why we're talking to Reform, for example, also some other foundations or even development banks that are interested. If you see opportunity to work on this together with universities, then we're very open to explore and see how we can get that working. Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you very much to both of you, Bente and Mirjam, for sharing a little bit about the Food System Innovation Challenge. We'll provide links to the relevant material that we've discussed here, so people can also follow that content if they're interested to see and hear more. And of course, I invite all of you out there to keep up with the podcast either through your favorite platform. Just look for Welcome to the Beehive. And we'll be back next time for another episode where we discuss something else from the world of food systems and the Netherlands Food Partnership. Bye-bye.